So you guys might have gotten a notification. We're also streaming on YouTube. So for those that don't have enough bandwidth to enter our Zoom, you can let them know that we're live streaming on YouTube. And siguro while waiting, no, Bella, kamusta naman yung Wednesday mo so far?
Okay naman so far. I had fun. Quick chat natin kanina with the speaker was fun.
For me naman, alam mo, my Wednesday morning was so productive. I'm so energized for today. Kaya I'm so ready for the really fun session that we have this afternoon. Ready na ako sa notes ko at lahat-lahat.
Kamusta naman kayo dito sa Zoom room? Type niyo naman dito, how's your Wednesday so far?
Yeah, let us know in the chat how you're doing so far. We already have a number of good afternoons from people. Hi Urza, hi Rodel, good afternoon. Huminis, I love, sobrang unique na mga names dito ngayon. Ivy, Gilbert. Yeah.
Oh. Ayan, we wanna know where you're calling from. Actually, ngayon I'm in Iloilo while co-hosting this webinar. So medyo curious ako, may mga Ilonggo kita diri, may mga Bisaya kita diri sa aton nga participants nga ga-attend sa webinar. Yes, hello Cecil from Makati. Yes, hello po from Melo, Linamon, Danao del Norte. Ayan, from Iloilo. Hi, Mariel. May mga nag-ense man kita diri. Hello from Enchanted Kingdom. Hi.
Yes, of course, we have our regular viewers from EK. Hi, John. Hi, Diane. Mabuhay and magical day to you also. Ayan, maayong palis from Gilbert. Vera, hi, good afternoon. Thanks for letting us know where you're tuning in from. At least nakikita natin, no, Bella, na nationwide talaga yung influence natin dito for our webinars. I think it makes it all the more exciting.
I feel like, Alma, we're a bit also international. We have Conch from Poland, actually. Hi. Hi, oras na po dyan sa inyo sa Poland.
Hi, fun.
From Rojas, Capiz. Yes.
9 a.m. sabi ni Conch from Poland. Wow, I don't think I've ever encountered anyone joining from Poland. Thanks for giving us some of your time, Conch.
Hello, Angelo. Si Angelo palaging umattend ng Wednesday webinars.
Hi, Angelo.
Hi, Angelo.
Ayan, hello from Pangasinan. Ayan, Mandaue. Ayan. Okay. So, thanks for engaging us in that quick question. Now, I want to ask, who here are first-time attendees sa webinar natin? If you're a first-time attendee, please type 1 in the chat so we get to see, what comprises this group. Ayan, okay. Okay, we have 1. All right, so Nelo is a first-time attendee. Maharlika, John, Harv. Okay, mukhang marami tayong first-time attendees this time around. Yan, keep it pouring in. Type in 1 if you're a first-time attendee. And the next thing that I want to ask is, who here came from the learning session that we did last week, the free webinar that we did last week? If you came from last week, please type 2.
Yes, ayun.
I'm sure that no Bella, yung speaker natin is gonna be so happy na actually biglang dumami yung nagta-type ng 2, no? I'm sure our speaker will be so happy. Then you might get a bit more continuity on this free webinar. So I'm excited for you on that one. Ayan. Thanks everyone for participating in that check-in. That helps us out a lot. So we have a good number of first-time attendees here, and I'm glad to see some familiar names and faces in the room or in the crowd. For all those who have been attending our free webinars, regularly in these past few months, I may or may not be a new face for some of you. But I used to host the free webinars back in 2022. And alam mo, Bella, all I have to say is it feels good to be back.
Yes. So nice to see you back here din, Alma. Ako actually, sa mga usual attendees ng free webinars, ako po yung nagtutulong sa inyo ng evaluation link. Ako yung nagte-tech support. Ako yung nagpo-post ng links sa chat. Pero ngayon, Gabby actually has a face-to-face workshop. So, kami muna yung magte-take over ng hosting. So, for this time, it's my time to shine. Hosting po ako for today para sa inyo.
Ayan. So don't miss us too much. We're just filling in for Gabby here. Let us know in the chat na lang kung na-enjoy nyo kami. Baka mag-repeat kami ni Bella. So, ayan. Thanks,
Sige,
everyone.
To
Ayan.
start off with today's webinar, we will be talking about building our personal brand. Pero before that, magpapakilala muna kami. I am Bella, a training and development intern of Positive Workplaces.
And I'm Luis Almazar, but feel free to call me Alma. That's my nickname. I'm the Wellbeing Services Officer here in Positive Workplaces. So, ayun, just to talk a little bit more about Positive Workplaces, our mission here is to co-create cultures that enhance the well-being of the Filipino workforce. Now, some of you might be thinking, no, paano nyo ba ginagawa yun? How do we do that? Well, we do it through what we call the positivity ripples.
Yes. So explain ko muna kung ano yung positivity ripple. So positivity ripple starts with you by leading the self and learning from webinars like this one. So by attending webinars, you enable yourselves to further foster your strengths and skills by learning concepts such as positive psychology, organizational well-being, etc. Kasi when we're able to lead ourselves, we are able to lead others as well. And as you learn, you can also lead others to do the same. So after attending this webinar, you can share your insights with your friends, workmates in your respective organizations. Tapos, each of our personal insights naturally influences cultures, and that is when positive workplace cultures can be cultivated.
Ayan. Wonderful explanation, Bella. So ayan, just before we start the session, we have some household rules or reminders here. So number one, have your phone or other device ready, or maybe if you're on your desktops or laptops, have that next tab ready to go to another link just in case we use some programs. We're gonna have a very engaging session this afternoon. And for those that wanna make sure na, na makuha talaga natin lahat ng learning, di natin kakalimutan. Yan, maghanda na kayo ng papel, pencil, pen, at lahat-lahat to take notes for this afternoon session. And lastly, we highly encourage engagement with the audience. Feel free to use the chat box to voice your opinions, what you relate with and not. But the only thing that we ask is to please be respectful to everyone else and their opinions in the chat.
Yes, thanks for saying that. One moment. Okay, for the evaluation form, para po sa mga usually humihingi ng link for attendance, hindi po kami nagre-record ng attendance during our Wednesday free webinars. Pero we send out an evaluation link that you need to fill out para makakuha po kayo ng e-certificate after the webinar. So a few reminders lang, the evaluation form will be issued at the end of the webinar for those na nasa Zoom room lang. So yung mga nanonood sa YouTube Live, hindi po kayo mabibigyan ng evaluation link. Tapos, when you fill out your evaluation form, please remember yung acronym na 10. Check the title of the evaluation form if it's correct. Make sure ninyo na yung title ng evaluation form is Building Your Personal Brand. Tapos check the spelling of your email and check the spelling of your name. Kasi auto-generated na yung pag-send ng e-certificates namin. So kung ano yung na-type ninyong spelling ng name ninyo, hindi na po namin may edit sa e-certificate.
All right. Thanks for that, Bella. And just one last thing. So like what Bella mentioned, we'll be posting this at the end of the session. Keep in mind that it will close in 30 minutes when we flash it later on. And for any other concerns about your certificate, make sure that you email us at engage@positiveworkplaces.org.
Yes.
And just keep in mind that we will only be entertaining inquiries regarding evaluations and certificates up to 1 week after the event. Okay, all right. I hope that's well known by the audience. Okay. So ayan, we're about to start our session. So this month's theme, if you were able to attend last week's session, our theme this month is unleashing your life's most meaningful work. And right now, we're about to talk about building our personal brand and unlocking that potential of ours with our resource speaker, Miss Pam Valenzuela, a senior consultant and marketing strategy lead at Management Strategies. I'm sure that she has a lot more to say about, her identity and her achievements. So without further ado, I am passing the floor to Miss Pam. Let's all give her a virtual round of applause. Yes. And hi, Miss Pam. Good afternoon.
Everyone, good afternoon. And I'm so very happy to be part of Positive Workplaces Free Wednesday afternoon webinar. This afternoon, we are going to be talking about building our personal brand. And at the end of the day, the brand that we have is basically that what will unleash our life's most meaningful work. It's one of those things that will help unleash our life's most meaningful work. So let me begin by introducing myself. Formally, I am Pam Valenzuela, and very important, I will share with you my purpose. My purpose is to multiply and enable what's good, useful, and true so that everyone may live well, thrive, and prosper. For those who attended the first session, you would have started your journey in building and finding and discovering your own why or your own purpose. And a lot of what we'll be talking about today will be connected with what Miggy, my colleague, has started to discuss a week ago. And what's my background? I have had 25 years of marketing experience across so many industries: FMCG, consumer health, Alcobev, lighting devices, Internet of Things, agri-biotech, even luxury retail. And I've been doing this, like I said, for the last 3 years in different capacities. Now, the benefit of, what everyone, I hope you will benefit from this experience, that 25 years experience. Plus, my undergraduate is on behavioral science, and what I'm doing now is consulting. So what you're going to be seeing today is a different brand, a different kind of learning how to brand yourself, personal branding. It's a combination of all my marketing experience plus the experience I've had so far in consulting and helping people empower organizations in the HR sphere. Yeah, so very exciting. Now, please feel free to ask questions in the chat. We're going to have, of course, a round of Q&A at the end of about 50-55 minutes. But if there's something burning question for you, Alma and Belle has kindly said yes to me. They will call my attention if there's something on the chat that will help us, of course, in our discussion. So let's begin. I would like to ask a very important question. And this question is, it is not showing. Now, if you can give me 20 seconds, there is something I'd like to correct in what I am showing. Okay. In the meantime, maybe we can ask everyone on chat, what's your favorite brand? Yeah, let's type on chat. Ano ang favorite brands natin? Feel free to get the fire in chat going. Ano ang favorite brand natin? And how about you, Alma? What's your favorite brand?
I was about to say, I think my favorite brand is Positive Workplace.
Nice.
Biased ng onte, but I think one definitely Nestle. Nestle. I think I'm a Nestle lover for sure. Other local brands, I think there are some really good ones that are really strong here. That's it for me.
Thank you, Alma. What do we see on chat? What the people sharing with us now? Yeah. What are their favorite brands?
A lot of people are sharing both international and local brands. Starbucks, Jordan. We have Xiaomi here, Nestle, Adidas. Oh, we have a Lenny
Oh,
Robredo. Ang brand
oh,
nila Robredo.
nice.
Ayan.
I would
Furla.
like, go ahead. Ano pa? Who else is, what else are we seeing on chat?
Ayan. We have a lot of Jollibee, S26. Ayan. Nike. Oh my God, yan, Nike. Malakas na brand. Ayan, go ahead.
Oo, sobrang lakas ng brand na yan. Can we, do you think we can talk to the person who said Starbucks? What do you think?
Mm.
Whoever would like to have a conversation on that now.
Yeah, Miss Laika Isabel Claudio, you mentioned Starbucks and actually also even Tivana. Would you like to share a bit more about that? Let me just make sure.
Hey, good afternoon.
Hi, good
Good afternoon,
afternoon.
ma'am. Currently po kasi ako ang umiinom ng hibiscus na Tivana brand ng Starbucks.
Okay.
Kasi I'm on diet now and yun, naghahanap ako ng tea and nakita ko ta siya online and binili ko siya sa Shopee. Shopee ba, Lazada?
Talaga?
So, ayun
Available
po.
yon? Okay.
Yes po, marami siyang flavor kasi herbal tea naman kasi ito eh. So, ngayon ko lang siya nalaman na Starbucks pa lang may-ari. Binili siya ng Starbucks, yung Tivana na brand.
Okay, Tivana. Now, why do you enjoy Tivana again?
I'm on diet po, ma'am, and iniinom ko siya currently.
Ah, so dahil meron kang purpose ngayon, no?
Ina-explore ko po yung mga
Oo.
teas na, yes
Masarap
po.
ba naman yung Tivana?
Yes po. Hibiscus, pink flavored ano siya, na flower. Hibiscus
Okay.
kasi is a type of flower kasi eh.
Correct, thank you. And bakit mo pinansin yung Tivana? Does the Starbucks brand have something to do with it?
Una is coffee lover po ako and nakita ko siya under ng Starbucks yung Tivana. So parang ano lang, siguro po, tinry ko lang.
You're a coffee lover and you love Starbucks. What about Starbucks do you love?
Yung coffee nila na macchiato, any coffee naman, okay naman sa akin. Sweet, hot, cold. Ayun.
Okay, anything in particular about Starbucks? Kasi maraming kape dyan, di ba? Oh, so bakit Starbucks?
I don't know why, halos lahat ng tao talaga sa Starbucks. Like, nag-i-invest ng maraming pera na kung pwede naman bumili ng 3-in-1 Nescafe, pero Starbucks talaga. Quality coffee talaga yung kanilang
Quality coffee.
purpose
Sige.
doon.
Sige. Can I get your name again, madam?
Laika Isabel Claudio po.
Wow, buo pa yung pangalan. Okay, Laika, babalikan natin yan, ha? Yung kwento mo. And I'm so glad everyone has shared what their favorite brands are, and you have shared why you like Starbucks, Laika. Thank you so much. And so we're going to talk a lot about branding today. And the framework that we're going to be using is Simon Sinek's Start With Why. So I'm not sure if you're familiar, but let me introduce Simon Sinek. He is one of the most highly regarded thought leaders when it comes to purpose, comes to leadership, and so many other things. And his book, Start With Why, explains what he says, what he calls rather the golden circle. And in the golden circle, there are 3 questions you can see in the slide. There's why, how, and what. Last week with Miggy, you discovered what your why is. Hopefully you've discovered your why. That's your life's purpose. And your branding starts with that. If it's very clear for you what your life purpose is, why you're here on earth, what gives your life meaning, you can progressively move to the outer concentric circle now, harnessing your talents, harnessing your strengths, and you can now identify your personal brand. That's the how. How you do things in a very unique way, what differentiates you from other people, but still activating what your life purpose is. And finally, go out into the outermost concentric circle of his golden circle, which he calls what. Your what is simply the action plans already. It's the solid and clear manifestations of your meaning, your life purpose, your brand, and basically what you do in life. Your roles, your activities, your decisions, these are all now part of your what. We have that as framework. And so let's start asking ourselves this crucial question. Okay? The crucial question is, natanong na ba natin sa mga sarili natin, bakit tayo i-hire? Why should people hire you? If you're a businessman, why should people trust you? If you are a new graduate, why would the big companies or whatever companies you're targeting, why would they hire you? And if you're already flourishing and growing in big businesses or even in government, wherever industry you're at, the question is, why would they keep you? Ayun. Yeah? So let's think about that. Why would someone hire you? Why would they trust you? And why would they keep you? Babalikan ho natin yung tanong na yan. And I invite all of you now to write down in your whatever devices that you have chosen or even your pen and paper, what your answer is now. Why should someone hire you? Okay. Now, we are going to answer that question again at the end of the session. But for now, let's talk about brands. And I'm so glad that we've seen or heard from our participants. Some have mentioned Jollibee already. Nike came out. We had some international brands as well. We relate to these brands. And like I told all of us today, na gusto niya yung Starbucks kasi para sa kanya, quality ang Starbucks. And when I speak to other people also, they tell me na gusto ko yung Starbucks kasi actually it represents status. It represents being included. It represents pag nakaka-afford ako ng Starbucks, medyo naka-arrive na ako ng konti. Instead of may inom pa rin ako ng 3-in-1 or kung ano man yon, right? So Starbucks as a brand represents so many things. And so therefore, if we replace now the question instead of these brands, how about our personal brand? Why would people love us? Why would people relate to us? How would people feel when they hear the name Carol Manzanal? Right? How will people feel and think? Ano una lang maisip pag narinig yung pangalan? Ana May Apolinario. Sino sila? Ganun din. The way big companies have invested in these brands, I invite all of you to invest in yourselves also as a brand. There are many great brands and they have stories. They have stories. They have a lot of promise that they want to deliver to the customer, to all of us. And so we also have our customers as people. Sinong customer natin? Kung ako as nanay, ang customer ko, yung mga anak ko. As wife, ang customer ko, asawa ko. As a brand, as a person, ang customer ko rin, let's say in my work as a consultant would be obviously my clients. My brand to them, if it's clear, I would have communicated that promise. Now, maraming mga, I used to teach also, I don't know if you notice in my profile, I used to teach in AIM, in De La Salle Graduate School, and even in St. Scholastica's. And there are many ways to academically explain a brand. Marami na akong tinuro na theory dyan, but for today, for all of you, I'll make it very simple. Anong makukuha ng customer mo sa'yo? And at ikaw lang ang makakapagbigay nun. Kung hindi pa yun clear sa'yo, today's session, I hope will help make it clearer for you. So, you are a brand. And the question is, what is your promise? And you carry along with you, your brand, a set of expectations that other people will expect from you. Alongside with that promise comes also the delivery of the promise. So hindi lang yung commitment, pati how you deliver on that commitment is part of your brand. Now, question, ayan, maybe we type on chat. Today, anong gusto natin dito sa tatlo? A, B, or C? How do we want to show up? Either at work, with people whom we work with? Ano ang sagot natin dyan? How do we want to show up? Do we want to show up as A, B, or C? Okay. Sige, let's type it on chat. Anong perspectives natin dyan? Okay, maybe we can call on someone, Alma. Somebody maybe who, ano ba mga sagot na nakita natin in chat?
Well, so far, all B's except for, I think this is the first C here from Miss Eliza and the first A from Miss Melin.
Okay.
And
Sige. Go ahead.
some even put more than one. I guess parang they're not a stranger to some of these emotions as well. I think let's call si Miss Sheila that answered both an A and a B. How about that? Miss
Sure.
and
I'm curious. Hi, Sheila.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Can
Good
you hear me po?
afternoon. Yes, I can hear you.
I
Okay, Sheila.
choose A and B points because we deal with different problems every day po. So
Yes,
there are times that we're not okay, there are times that we are very okay. So
yes.
that's why I choose po A and B. It's because it's not all the time po kasi na you can show up like sa B po. Yun, that's my answer po.
Okay, thank you so much, Sheila. What I did pick up, and apologies if I wasn't able to pick up everything, no, is that sometimes, of course, most of the time we want to show up as B, but we can't help but sometimes we will show up in reality as A. Or maybe even we will show up in reality as C. Right? Panicky and not knowing what we're going to be doing, right? At that moment. Or being overwhelmed, perhaps. And that's so true, no? Talagang in real life ang sagot sa atin ni Sheila. Most of us, of course, we want to show up as B. Desire natin lahat yan. But we will always encounter people and situations, circumstances, and even events in our life that may prevent us from showing up as B. Now, this is where, therefore, we need to be very deliberate and intentional whenever we show up. Being very clear as to what our brand is and being consistent in the way we practice kung ano man yung brand natin. Bakit? Kasi kung alam ng mga tao, consistent ka, nagde-deliver ka sa brand mo, whether you show up as A, B, or C, they will understand and they will acknowledge and they will still not, it will tell them na, okay, it must be just a bad moment. It must be just a challenging time here. Ano kayang tulong maibibigay ko kay Apple? Right? So, the message I'd like to say here is we need to be thoughtful and intentional in what brand we're going to bring every day. So first, do you know what your brand is? And once you know, we have to be intentional in doing it and being deliberate and being consistent in displaying it. Otherwise, your brand will not have its power. Para lang Starbucks yan, di ba? If Starbucks does not advertise in social media, all brands, if they don't advertise consistently, expose themselves to you, right? You will not understand what their promise is. You will not remember what they are committing to you. So it's the second point I'd like to share. Now, we have to be clear about our brand as well. That's the third, okay? And to be clear about this brand and being deliberate about how we show up, we have to be clear what that promise is. And our activities this afternoon will help us be clear what that brand is. Because our personal brand will allow us to proactively manage our profile, our how people see us, our impression. Not just that, it will help us articulate our value. Ano yung promise ko sa'yo? Anong pwede ko i-deliver sa'yo? Bakit mo ko pipiliin kaysa isa? Bakit ako ipopromote mo kaysa isa? Bakit yung produkto ko ang bibilin mo? Or me even as a product. Ba? The importance of your personal brand is what makes you unique. You will leverage it when you speak to other people or bring decisions forward, even when you make critical decisions in key meetings, key or whatever activities you may be part of. It will help you influence and become better people and better leaders should you be a leader at this point in time. Being clear and deliberate about who you are and what you stand for is a crucial element of your personal brand. Our why, I already shared this, is what we stand for. Our how is our brand. And so grounded on our why, hopefully all of you would have had an exercise, a reflection already of what your why is and what your meaning. Okay, that's something I cannot discuss anymore at this point in time. So I truly, truly hope and sincerely desire that if you've started that journey, you continue on together with what you're going to learn today. Because our brand is our evolving story, right? We would have learned a lot about ourselves. We would have a purpose, meaning, at different points in time in our life. Pero we will grow. We're going to have new strengths we develop. We're going to be knowing new things. We will overcome challenges. You know, a lot of things will happen in our lives, and therefore, our brand should reflect all of these learnings, great aspects, achievements, and talents and abilities as we bring them or achieve them or accumulate them in our lives. Now, what qualities make a great brand? And we're going to understand ngayon what makes a brand great. And dito na papasok ko yung experience ko in marketing. So bear with me for a bit. We have to discuss this para, sorry, excuse me, ma-apply ho natin siya sa personal brands natin. Sorry, I have to. Okay, kung face-to-face po ito at this point in time, umiinom na po ako ng tubig. So allow me to drink tea. Okay, maybe I can speak to somebody again, Alma. Who knows what Dove is and what do they know about Dove?
Ayan. Let's see some responses in the chat. Yeah. Who can say anything about Dove?
Anong alam natin about Dove?
Ako nga, Ms. Pam, I learned recently that Dove soap is actually not soap.
Yes.
That's technically not counted as soap. That's something I heard. And we have people in the chat. Yan. For gentle and soft skin, some people
Thank
say
you.
beauty bar. For those na may sensitive skin, yan, beauty. And someone said personal care, pero overwhelmingly, mas nauuna yung beauty over personal care.
Okay, beauty. Great. So thank you so much for those who have shared their thoughts. Yes, this brand this brand stands for beauty. No, maraming campaigns si Dove over the years, pero laging naka-anchor siya sa femininity, restoring femininity, and binubuwag niya yung stereotypes of what beauty is. Dati kasi 'di ba ang beautiful laging yung blonde, Barbie doll, ganyan, no? But even before na uso yung anybody can be beautiful, ganyan, matagal na. Nasa college pa po ako, baka iba sa inyo hindi pa pinapanganak. Nasa college pa po ako, Dove already started speaking about breaking barriers when it comes to beauty. And that's what it stood for. That femininity is not just for the standard view of beauty. Anyone can be beautiful. Okay? And beauty can come in different shapes, sizes, colors, and ages. Okay. Now, pinag-usapan natin si Dove, babalikan natin si Dove, but what I want to emphasize here is there are 3 characteristics of what makes a great brand. Di ba? Magagawa po tayo ng branding natin ngayon, di ba? Naintindihan na ho natin bakit siya important. It will help us enable our purpose, right? It will help us articulate our value and so many things. So what are the 3 things? What are the 3 characteristics of a great brand? Relevance, differentiation, and authenticity. Okay? If you have all 3, then your brand is powerful. Now, a brand that has relevance, it means this brand really connects with the audience, dun sa target market niya, yung customer niya. And this brand, okay, kung relevant siya, ibig sabihin na intindihan niya kung ano yung need ng audience niya at binibigay niya kung ano yung need ng audience niya. Kaya siya relevant. Right? Kasi kung hindi mo binibigay yung need ko, hindi kita papansinin as a brand. Right? Now, when it comes to differentiation, it means paano ka iba sa iba? What makes you as a brand stand apart from the rest? And once you're clear kung bakit ka different, people will understand why you are delivering your value. Kung bakit why your value is your value. Okay. And finally, authentic. Ang brand na authentic is one that nobody else can copy. Each brand, each person, kung authentic siya, this enables now the trust that you give to a brand. And you as a person, this will now enable the trust that you are asking people to give to you. And typically, you only earn that trust once you have practiced authenticity yourself. Kumbaga, hindi ka fake. Hindi ka fake na brand, hindi ka rin fake na tao. Okay. And great brands are guided by all three. Now, I'm going to introduce to all of you a concept called brand key. This comes from my 25 years of marketing experience. Now, this is Dove's brand key. And wag mo tayo ma-overwhelm, no? This is very simple to understand, and let me guide you. Si Dove, sabi natin, nasa gitna yan, no? This is actually a keyhole. This is a picture of a keyhole. And in the middle of that keyhole, napansin nyo yung essence yan. Dove's essence is gusto niya mag-restore ng femininity. Kinag-usapan ho natin kanina yan. And if Dove is able to deliver this kasi meron siyang very strong, relevant, differentiated, and authentic brand key. Hindi lahat to nakikita nyo sa mga commercial and whatever social media releases na ilalabas ng Dove. Pero lahat to naging basis nung lahat na kino-communicate ni Dove as a brand key. Anong personality ni Dove? Honest siya, pure, feminine, inner confidence. Ano ang benefits ni Dove? It won't dry my skin. It makes my skin soft and smooth. It makes me feel feminine. Tapos ano yung, kumbaga, pag sinabi natin reasons to believe on the right side, bakit ako maniniwala sa'yo? Okay, bakit ako maniniwala sa'yo, Dove? Bakit? Kasi meron akong 1/4 moisturizing skin. Sabi nga, moisturizing cream. Sabi nga ni Alma, di ba? Hindi siya soap. It's actually a beauty bar. It's a moisturizing cream more than anything. It's recommended by dermatologists, there are clinical proofs, and even it's endorsed by so many users. Now, all of this is anchored on an insight, meaning ano yung kailangan ng customer mo. And yung kailangan ng customer ni Dove is, gusto ko yung soap na hindi nagpapadry ng skin ko. Okay? So, ano yung environment? Sino mga customers niya? Ang customer ni Dove, women, 35 to 50. Diba? Gusto niya, they want to look and feel different. They want to feel beautiful. They want their personal best. Something that will allow their skin to be soft and supple. Ganyan. And si Dove operates in a very competitive environment. It competes with premium soaps. It even can compete with moisturizing creams. One can argue. And all of this supports supports all the claims of Dove. Now, as you may suspect, we're going to encourage you now to make your own brand key. Para magawa nyo, malaman nyo ano yung brand ko, at tayo mismo, we're brands ourselves, kailangan may sarili din tayong brand key. And it's all anchored on relevance, differentiation, and authenticity. Anong brand key natin? Unahin natin yung first 4 elements ng brand key. We talked about the insights, the environment, the target market, and even strengths of a brand. And lahat yan will answer bakit relevant ka as a brand. Bakit relevant ka as a brand? Or si Dove, bakit siya relevant as a brand? And it answers the questions, anong strengths mo? Anong environment ka nagpe-play? Whatever roles you have or depending on your purpose, di ba? Who's your target market? Sino mga customer mo as a brand? At ano yung need? Ano yung need ng customers mo na ina-address mo? So that part of the brand key, those first 4 questions is what we ask ourselves. The next 4 is, this will now answer kung bakit ka iba. Yan, bakit ka kakaiba? Ano yung differentiation mo? Added value mo? Ano yung values, beliefs, and personality mo? What proof do you have of your value? Bakit ka paniniwalaan as a brand, as a personal brand? What makes you unique and different? Those are the 4 things yan sa ating keyhole na sasagutin that I invite you to answer so that you can build what your brand is. So a lot of thoughtful questions here. And finally, at the core of it all, yung keyhole mismo, yung purpose natin. What do you stand for? Because everything else will be anchored dun sa purpose nyo mismo. Relevance. Our relevance is us going back to our truth, playing to our strengths. And all of these are the truth kung sino talaga tayo will be grounded kung ano yung kailangan ng mga customers natin and understanding kung ano yung gusto ng audience natin. Okay? And I want to emphasize a bit more dun sa insight. Kasi marami dun sa i-decide nyong sasabihin kung sino ka as a brand will be anchored kung ano yung insight. Okay, this is the truth, this is the need of your audience na ikaw lang ang makaka-address para maging relevant ka nga. Kasi yun ang una nating sinasagot, di ba? Dun sa brand key natin, our keyhole. Pinaka-importante yan. The relevance, your relevance. Right? And if you know kung ano yung need ng audience na yon, you'll be relevant to that audience as mentioned earlier. And so please allow me to share a bit more about myself. Anong brand key ni Pam Valenzuela? Ayan. I want to share with you na I've gone through a strengths survey, and if you've not gone through yourself, feel free to take on some surveys. There are some free online. www.viacharacter.org is a good source. Maybe Bella or Alma can help type that for me on chat. No, if you need a little bit more help knowing and uncovering what your strengths are. Pero kung obvious na yun sa inyo, I invite you to now to write down ano mga strengths nyo. There at the bottom of the screen, you'll see. This strengths I've written down here is based on a company called Clifton Strengths. And I did a survey or knowing what my strengths are. Ito lumalabas, no? My strength, I'm very strong in building relationships and I take more interest in character than position. Yan, yung core values ko drive what I do. I focus on each one's differences and I harness it. I'm also a very efficient conductor of every variable that's happening around us and I figure out the best possible way to get things done. And I'm very high in responsibility. I take ownership of everything I commit to and I follow through. Yan po ang aking strengths. And then, pagdating sa number 2, what environment do I play in? I play in the corporate environment still, no? Even in the business environment, I'm also an entrepreneur. I play in the gig economy. I also serve and support NGOs and communities and also delve into non-traditional learning. Yan ang aking environment. Sinong target market ko? My target markets are business and organizations, clients, leaders, and youth. So yan ang target market ko. And finally, ano yung insight, ano yung need ng aking audiences? Lahat ng audiences ko dyan, yung mga clients, leaders, youth, business organizations. Ano yung insight nila na gusto kong i-address? Ano yung truth? The truth is everyone, each one of us will always need help once in a while to make things happen from someone trustworthy, reliable, and dependable. Because no man or woman or no being is an island. We all will need help somehow from someone, sometime, somewhere. And that's the truth. Okay? So yan po ang relevance. If we are able to answer these questions, it will help us ask ourselves, relevant ba ako as a brand? Dito natin ipapasok lahat yan. And I'm sharing with you the entire brand key. Ayan, at this point in time. And we have permission from Management Strategies, our learning partner this afternoon. You can take a screen grab of this. You can continue on the journey of building your brand key. We've started it today, pero ganito yung buong itsura ng brand key na yan. And we've started talking about the bottom portion, which is, like I mentioned, what relevance is all about. Okay, and we're going to build the brand key. My suggestion is to build the brand key even after especially, no, dahil 1 hour lang po tayo together, I would love na kasama ko kayo in building your brand key, but we only have 50 minutes together, no? So build your brand key even after, and we've started with relevance. Now let's talk about the next one, which is, ayan, we'll talk about now differentiation. So this is what sets you apart from others. It's what makes you unique and different. It's what makes you add value to other people. So ano yung mga tanong? What questions should we ask ourselves to help us maybe find our own differentiation? So there are many ways we can ask ourselves, am I the most determined? Am I the most curious? Am I the most successful? Or am I the one who's always willing and unafraid? Am I the one with always the most positive outlook in life? Or am I just the uncommonly good member of this team? Okay? Or do I do my work best as solo? There are many other questions. These are just sample questions to ask yourselves how different I am versus everyone else that has the same customer as I do. So ito ngayon yung questions na tatanungin natin. And again, I'm sharing with all of you the sample of my own differentiation sa brand key natin. And let's start with number 5. Anong added value ko? Based doon sa strengths na shinare ko po earlier, my added value is I make things happen. I listen and I do it well. I encourage and support, and I mentor and coach. Ano ang aking values, beliefs, and personality? Number 1 po sa akin ang integrity, continuous learning, resilience, conscientiousness, loyalty, trust, love, inspiration, and I already mentioned continuous learning. Now, ano ang aking proof? Ano yung proof? What proof do you have of your value? Bakit maniniwala sa akin yung mga tao? Ano yung reason to believe nila? Bakit? Kasi meron po akong demonstrated leadership and business successes and people development experience na in the past. I've had 25 years of it already. And maraming salamat sa mga taong nagbibigay po ng testimonials and good feedback of the work that I have done for them or the help that I have done for them. So a lot of testimonials of people and organizations as well. That's why I'm saying that's how I am differentiated. That's why my brand is differentiated. Okay. Why people should believe me also. Why my value is something that can be trusted and taken and preferred. Yon, preferred over others. Finally, what makes me unique and different? I have that unique gift. Naka-anchor din po ito dun sa strengths na shinare ko kanina. I have a unique gift. I meet people the first 3 to 5 minutes. I would already discern what the potential is of that person, what their needs are. Okay, and second would also be I also always execute with excellence. That's what makes me unique and different. And so again, I invite you to ask yourselves this question as well. Sa sarili niyong brand key, your own brand key. And these questions will help us now differentiate ourselves as a personal, differentiate your personal brand. Okay, we've talked about relevance, we've talked about differentiation as the 2 important characteristics of brands, of great brands. I'm going to talk about authenticity. And authenticity, at the end of the day, is about your purpose. It is the essential truth about who you are, okay? It is being aligned with what you stand for and understanding what guides you and your purpose. Simply put lang ho, ganito lang yan eh. Kung yung ginagawa po ninyo, hindi aligned dun sa meaning ninyo, meaning hindi aligned sa purpose nyo, hindi aligned kung sino talaga kayo, to be very difficult to build a brand, a consistent brand, a very strong brand. Kailangan mag-align ho yung purpose nyo to everything else about you, the way you express yourselves. Otherwise, confused po yung brand nyo, hindi kayo maintindihan as a brand ng target customer ninyo, of people around you. So authenticity is how you choose to lead your way and communicate your brand in your own way, how you choose to lead your life in your own way and how you communicate your brand. Okay? And it is a quality nobody else can copy. You are uniquely authentic by yourself, within yourself. And para lang clear ho yung difference between purpose and insight, ang purpose ho is based on your strengths. Ano ho yung contribution nyo to the world? That's the first part of your purpose statement. I'm just reviewing what Miggy shared last week. And then another part of your purpose statement is ano yung impact ninyo? What's your impact? How are you positively impacting other people? Ano yung change na gusto nyong gawin for the world? Yan yung purpose nyo. That's what makes you authentic and true. As opposed to the insight, ito yung kailangan ng customer nyo from you. Okay? And so to differentiate that, so number 9, another example from my end again, from my own brand key. My purpose At marami na hutong versions ng purpose ko, no? Marami tong iterations. And these iterations is simply because your brand is an evolving brand, no? You are an evolving being yourself, no? So, but at the end of the day, your purpose should reflect who you are. You're the best of who you are. And the best of who I am is based on my strengths. Yan, lahat ng shinare ko na earlier do sa parts ng brand key is I multiply and enable everything that's good. Whatever is good, useful, and true. Kasi gusto ko lahat ng tao to live well, thrive, and prosper. Sinashare ko kanina kina Bel tsaka kina Alma. Nung tinanong ako to invite, when the organizers invited management strategies and I was asked to speak on this topic, wala pang 2 seconds, I already said yes. Bakit? I strongly believe if I help people be clear about their own brands, be clear about their own purpose, I'm actually living my own purpose. Because I want people to live well, thrive, and prosper. And it's such a joy for me. It's such a joy whenever I do something like this. Okay? And if you notice that with the friends now, pagdating sa Insight, kinuwento ko na po sa inyo to earlier, every little while, there will be help that people will need from somebody trustworthy, reliable, and dependable. And I'm saying that's what I can offer. And there's always kasi something good, useful, and true in each and every circumstance and each and every person. And so that's the last portion of the brand key. Number 9. What do you stand for and what is your purpose? And so I hope in this very short time together, we understand how to build our own brands. And I've given you thought-provoking questions, I hope, so that you can build your own brand even after this session this afternoon. Because a brand, let's stop there, okay? Thought-provoking questions, and it's a take-home for all of you. Ideally, this session can be done in 2 to 3 days, guiding you every step of the way. And that's one of the things we help people and organizations do in management strategies. But for now, let me express it a bit more now. Your brand, while you have built it now, yung brand key ninyo, kailangan din yan i-communicate. Yung brand is technically a voice. It's communicating to you what its promise is, what you want to deliver. Kinuwento na natin yan kanina. And Lisa Gansky is an American entrepreneur, writer, and speaker. She is rather still the CEO of Global Network Navigator and Ofoto, and she is a thought leader on innovation and entrepreneurship. And she has been very how do I say, instrumental in helping people find that voice for the brands, for that voice that they would like to express for their brands. So, ito na po tayo. If we build now our brands via our brand key, the question now is, paano natin siya i-communicate? Kasi, kagaya sinabi nila kanina, si Starbucks, hindi lang naman siya Starbucks, may kinommunicate si Starbucks. So the question now is, how are we going to communicate? How are we going to communicate our brand? It should not stop in building our brand key, everyone. We should be able to communicate what we're promising, our own brand. And it should be communicated from the inside out. Okay, now, we talked about the brand key of Dove. So ang tanong natin ngayon sa mga, maybe our participants, how does Dove communicate? Ano yung boses ni Dove? Yan, can we type on chat? And maybe you can help me, again, Alma, find a person we can speak to. Paano kino-communicate ni Dove ang kanyang brand? Anong tone of voice niya?
Yung mga unang sumagot kami ni Bella mismo. We're so zoned in the session.
How about the rest? I would like to speak to more. We have almost 500 people on chat, a lot of people pa in the waiting room na humahabol. So, ano ang thoughts ng ating participants?
So
How
some
does Dove speak?
Some
Go
here
ahead.
have gentle and soft.
Hey, gentle and soft. Ano
Feminine.
pa?
It speaks with inclusivity. I think that could be
Oh, nice. I like that. Inclusivity. Ano pa?
sensitive, gentle, soothing, and soothing.
Soothing. Okay, what else? Remember, ang essence ni Dove is restoring femininity. Diba? If you're trying to restore femininity, paano ka dapat nagsasalita? How are you communicating that?
I think I also want to include the answers that Bella and I gave.
Sure,
I,
yes.
I said empowering and Bella said parang advocate.
Yon, nice. Yes, that is true. Dove is very empowering and uplifting. It uses affirmative language. Kumbaga, kasi kailangan niya i-boost yung self-confidence ng kanyang audience eh. Diba? And ang gusto niya communicate is there is no single definition of beauty. Diba? So, that's why, basta may nakita kang communication from Dove, it will always speak this way. It will always empower and it will always uplift. And based on Dove's brand key, ikukwento niya lahat yan. Ikukwento niya lahat yung laman ng kanyang brand key or magiging basis nung kanyang sasabihin yung laman ng kanyang brand key. And how, or the more accurate phrase to say, I guess, is the way you communicate your brand key is what we call now your brand voice. Your brand voice is how you deliberately communicate your brand. It can be communicated through the way you dress up. It can be communicated with the way you speak. It can be communicated in how you consistently deliver your output. So what is an example of brand voice? How can you build now your voice? Paano mo ngayon communicate yung brand nyo? This is again an example of my own brand voice. It's still rooted in purpose. And it's I've shared with all of you, my purpose is to multiply and enable what's good, useful, and true so that everyone may live well, thrive, and prosper. And the way I embody myself now, the second question, embodiment, no? When people see me, lagi yang there's a positive delivery of who I am, embodiment of who I am. I always explore what else can be done with our talents and gifts at all possible. As much as possible, bring in confidence to the table, sharing that anything and everything can be learned, and we always can ask help. And to bring challenges, we challenge every single one in the team that, kumbaga, we can always be better than we were today or better than we were yesterday. And no challenge can be overcome. No challenge is too difficult to be overcome. Yan. So that's how I embody myself. The second question we ask ourselves so that we communicate our brand consistently dun sa brand key natin is, anong language and tone do we use? And I am one person who is perennially curious and observant. Pag kumakausap po ako ng ibang tao, madalas ako lagi yung nagtatanong. Because nga, I do my best to listen. No? I focus also on possibilities, that it can be done, and there's always a better way. And at the end of every conversation, I always bring the statement, I believe in you, it can be done. Okay, so that's the language and tone that I use, and that's part of my brand. Okay, now, how do you connect now with others? The way I connect is, I like asking about shared learnings, dreams, goals, and aspirations. I always connect with other people by sharing what we can try new, how we can think of new ways of doing and thinking, and always encouraging and motivating. Napansin nyo, lahat yan is always rooted in my purpose. Yan, naka-activate lahat yan based on my purpose. Okay, so again, with the permission of management strategies, I share with all of you the template that you can use so that you can start asking yourselves as well, build your brand voice based on your brand key. Paano nyo ngayon i-communicate yung unique brand ninyo? Ask yourselves how my brand voice will be able to enable that. Now, our self-awareness is crucial in, of course, going through this exercise. And I invite you to reflect, dig deep down a bit more, because once we're more aware of who we are, the more we'll be able to build a stronger brand and communicate this brand of ours. And if you have a strong self-awareness, it's allowing us now to be able to deliver the brand that we said we will deliver. It will give us the power to influence outcomes, and it will help us become better decision makers. Kasi kung alam mo ang brand mo, for example, my brand is that I am dependable, reliable, and trustworthy. So if my boss has a big project that he does not want to fail, alam na niya, ibibigay niya kay Pam. Ganun po yun in the past. Usually in the past, I was hired to revive businesses, revive brands, reformat organizations. And so again, because I had a clear brand, people remember that, and that helped me deliver my value. It also will give you self-confidence. It will allow you to understand things from multiple perspectives. It will free you also from multiple assumptions and biases, build better relationships, and help us regulate our emotions and manage our stress. So this building our brand is not just about the outward manifestation of, or building our brand is not just about creating slogans for yourself. Hindi po. No, based on my experience both in and out of corporate, building your brand comes from living authentically your why. It's not just about slogans. It's not just about what's uso, makikiuso tayo. It's about, at the core of it all, living your why and articulating it in your brand, via your brand. And so allow me to close this afternoon session by helping you activate your own brand. And one of the types of branding, personal branding, is leadership branding. And I honestly believe that we are all leaders regardless of where we are in an organization, regardless of what we do in life, because leadership is influence. John Maxwell taught us this. Leadership is influence, so we can influence from wherever we are. And so I'll give you an example of how you can activate now your own leadership brand. And this is a worksheet. Yan. A worksheet that I am sharing with you again, how I have activated my own leadership brand. Ayan ho. Kung napansin nyo, marami akong mga roles. Yan yung how. Yan yung how dun sa golden circle ni Simon Sinek. I am a spouse, I am a mother, I'm a sister, daughter-in-law, I'm a friend, I'm a preacher and pastor, I'm a senior consultant, I'm a business owner, I'm also a student. And in all of those roles that ang ginagawa ko, lahat ng what's ko, I asked myself, yung brand ko ba na-activate ko dito? Right? Na-activate ko ba yung purpose ko and strengths ko? And across all my different roles, napansin nyo ho, may mga roles ako na hindi mataas ang score. And by the way, no, these are unusually high scores. If you feel that your scores should be at around 4, 5, 6, okay lang po yun. It's your own self-awareness that will guide you. Kaya importante yung self-awareness and being honest with yourself. No? And I've been doing this kasi for quite some time already. So nag-evolve na rin hutong scores that I'm scoring sa sarili ko. And there are a lot of items here na I should still work on. Now, while my role as a child to my mother is 9, there are things that I still need to work on there. And I'd like to share with you ano yung pwede nyong gawin as a very simple plan of action moving forward para ma-activate nyo yung leadership brand ninyo or your own personal brand. Okay, I'm going to share something when it comes to my role as daughter and also my role as a student para makapag-activate ho tayo ng ating brands. So as a daughter, yan, sa personal life ko, as a daughter, I want to support my mother's need for more attention, a little bit more. No? So put that role as a daughter, ito yung result na gusto ko. And para makuha ko tong result na to, sabi ko sa sarili ko, I will check in on her every Wednesday. I will visit her every other Sunday. And I will share more personal stories and invite what she thinks of what my stories are. So more conversations. And if you notice, it's part of me being a dependable, reliable, and trustworthy daughter. Still on brand. Na-activate ko yung pagka-daughter ko, still on brand. Okay, paano ko ngayon i-activate yung pagka-student ko, yung role ko as a student? Ayan. I am taking a certification now as part of me being a consultant. And I have to complete my global certification by half 2. Ngayon, I have 3 months left. And then I need to build some programs kasi on this for half 1 2024. So anong kailangan ko gawin dito? I have to finish all my caseworks promptly. I will work with like-minded people and gagawa ko ng test pilot by quarter 2 2024. Again, this is me multiplying what's good, useful, and true. On brand yan, and also again within my purpose as a person. So I hope by sharing a little bit of my own brand voice, my own activation plan here for the leadership brand will also help you activate your own personal brands as well. And so I ask everyone again the same question I asked at the beginning, right? Why should a new boss hire you or keep you? Or why should anyone choose you? What is your brand? And so it's a question we ask ourselves as we try to accomplish our own brand keys and build our own brand voice and do our activation plans for our own brands. Because what we'd really like to do and what we believe in management strategies is we want to unlock potential and we want to transform people and organizations. And so we invite everyone to live out your purpose every day with high levels of intentionality. To play to your truth always and to your strengths. Communicate this inside and out. Be deliberate how you communicate and purposely embody yourself. Be authentic and true to what you stand for. And then automatically you're going to see your brand, your personal brand being seen, felt, and understood and experienced by people all around you consistently and authentically. All right. I'm going to finish my session here, and good news to all of you. The templates that I've shared with all of you, I'm going to be uploading a file for all of you so that you can work on your brand key. Yeah, special bonus now for management strategies. Your brand key, your brand voice, and even your activation plans as a take home for all of you as we now conclude our session. And at this point, I'm open to questions and questions. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Miss Pam. That was such an amazing session. I'm completely mesmerized. And yes, actually, I want to allot as much time as we can to give questions to the audience. So I'm gonna quickly flash this. So yeah, we use technology sa Q&A natin. Go ahead and scan this QR code or manually go to the website and type the passcode brand so we can start asking some questions. And while waiting, Ms. Pam, again, that was so amazing. And I think Bella and I have
Thank you.
insights that we want to share. For me, I think as someone my line of careers in sales and business, it's not the first time I've heard about brand marketing. But the difficulty on my end is I know how to apply it, for brands and companies, and I don't know how to transition it into, me as a person. And that's what I was able to learn today. It's hard if you really want to go through all the concepts, but I really took a screenshot of those worksheets because that's the simplest way you can start, just by answering those questions are very intentional. And I feel like it's going to be a different experience for everyone. Maybe there are some people from the get-go, alam na nila kung ano yung purpose nila. For me, I think that's going to be the most difficult part for me. But the most important thing is you can start just by simply answering those workshops and thinking about it. So I'm really thankful for that. How about you, Bella? What are your insights naman?
Yes, thanks, Alma. Sobrang nag-resonate po, Miss Pam, yung presentation ninyo sa akin. Yung a lot of things resonated. A few that stood out sa akin was actually the first few slides. Especially yung question na for branding, why should someone hire or keep you? Ano yung makukuha ng customer mo sa'yo na ikaw lang yung makakabigay? parang it's really how to differentiate from the market. And also our brand is our promise, not just our promise on what we can deliver, but it's also our promise on how we deliver. Yun yung mga nag-stand out talaga sa akin.
Great. Thank you so much, Bella. I just want to emphasize, Alma and Bella, that the worksheets, I have uploaded the file on chat. So feel free, everyone, to download that.
Mhm. Ayan, sige. Ayan, keep note of that. Maybe I might ask Miss Pam to resend it again, maybe after. For sure, madami comments on. Why don't we already get started on some of these questions that are coming up here?
Okay.
Ayan. Bella, feel free to choose anything there.
Actually, meron po akong personal question na gusto ko itanong sa inyo. So, if okay lang, I'd like to
Sure.
I'd like to give context muna. So nag-take na rin here in Positive Workplaces, actually, we take the Gallup Strengths. Clifton.
Oh, good. Okay.
So, na-take ko na siya last year, mga March 2022. Iba
Okay.
yung top 5 ko noon. May pinagdadaanan din kasi ako noon. Then, na-take ulit sa akin ng PW this August lang, tapos umiba yung top 5. So,
Okay.
naman kasi like, for this year, mas intentional naman ako, and then I feel parang mas maraming support. Yan. So, I feel better. So, yung question ko is, for you, has there ever been a time when you were younger na iba din yung brand ninyo? Na parang iba yung why ninyo, iba yung purpose ninyo? And then, how did you transition? Or talagang the same na siya all throughout?
Thank you, Bella, for bringing that up, because I emphasized earlier that we evolve, we
Yeah.
grow. So, yung aking purpose when I was much younger was different. In my early 20s, it was different. And then as I experienced more in life, as I learned, as I grew, made mistakes, a lot of mistakes, right? I learned from all of that. And so that's why your brand evolves. But the important thing here kasi as your brand evolves, it's clear to you kung ano siya as it evolves. We're just being deliberate about it now. Hindi yung, basta ganito ako. It's another thing that we have written it down, we've articulated it, and we constantly monitor and see how we're evolving so that we can also communicate that as we grow ourselves. Diba? Like ako, for example, just 3 years ago, I was still in corporate. Still in corporate. And so iba ang communication ko for me as a corporate person. Iba also the way I communicate my brand now because I am more in consulting than corporate. So it evolves, yes. So I hope that answers your question. The critical thing is we are clear and deliberate that we are evolving and we articulate it, we communicate.
Yes, wow. Thank you, Ms.
Uh,
Pam. Even,
You're welcome.
Yeah, I wanted to ask this question that I saw in the chat here.
Sure.
The 2 questions came up na similar. Tama naman na, okay, we learned a bit more about how we build our personal brand. But that's also a different thing for, okay na yung brand natin, pero how do we find the right market? Or how can I know if I'm at the right market?
There are many ways to answer this question. I will simplify. If you know what your strengths are, kailangan clear muna sa'yo kung ano yung unique differentiation mo, di ba? So relevance, differentiation, authenticity. To answer that question, tanong mo sa sarili mo, what differentiates you first? Tapos, kung hindi pa kasi clear sa'yo yung target market mo, di ba? So kung wala kang target market, wala kang insight. So hanapin mo muna kung ano yung what differentiates you, what's your, bakit ka iba. Tapos hanapin mo kung sino yung market may kailangan nun. Doon mo mahanap yung right target market for you. Kaya nga self-awareness is important eh. It's crucial for success. So talagang a lot of introspection, knowing yourself. Ako, alam ko na I will not be the right person to, let's say, develop or teach small kids.
Mhm.
Hindi ko target market ang young kids pagdating sa learning. Alam ko na yon. Bakit? Kasi I will not be able to speak the language of kids. Hindi ko siya talent. So self-aware na ako doon, and I admit that, and I'm very honest with myself. So alam ko, as a teacher or as a mentor, ang target market ko talaga adults. Yon. So I hope that answers the question.
Yeah.
Knowing your strengths and what differentiates you, and from there you will now see kung sino may kailangan sa'yo. That's how you find your target market.
All right, all right. That's a good one. I wanted to ask one that also tackles the youth. Maybe I feel like we have a lot of youth that are in this call.
Sure.
One of the questions here is, ayan, how can university students going for internships find or know their personal brand?
How can university students going for internships find or know their personal brand? Okay. I had a client just earlier this year na yung mga interns nila, hindi pa nila empleyado, yung mga interns nila, I gave this same course to them, same workshop. Because I honestly believe, habang nag-umpisa ka pa lang sa buhay, kung clear na sa'yo yung brand mo, it's a strong springboard for success. I wish somebody taught me this when I was studying pa. And so, to be honest, it does not matter if you're a university student, if you are 55 years old or 60, your brand, you build or know your brand where you are at that point in time. So the session today is my answer also to the same university students. Daanan niyo yung tanong. It does not matter nga kung nasan ka in your point in time of your life. Because you're going to continually ask yourself those questions, regardless of what your position is, your status, wherever you are in life. So unless there is a specific concern of this person who asked this question, what about university, being a university student is impacting this question? Sana may context para mas matulungan ko yung tao.
Yeah, since it is anonymous, I guess we could really guess. No, but I think most definitely, probably it's like maybe they're not at that part of their life that they think it should be important. I think that's the common misconception that we're trying to.
Okay, now that we are in a world where our lives, we publish our lives online. Knowing who you are, have a very strong base of who you are is important. Kasi in social media, marami tayong nakikita. Marami tayong na-influence and sometimes we get affected by it. So kung hindi ka very clear what your brand is, it's more useful. It's more useful and more helpful with the kind of world we have now that's always online. To be clear who we are, your why. So that even if you publish yourself online, you'll be able to be authentic and consistent about it as well. So that's what I can add na lang here, since that's there. That's, I guess, part of being young, especially that kind of world.
Yes, thanks for answering that, Ms. Pam. I think Bella was able to choose a question for you on the next one.
Sure.
Actually, gusto ko yung top voted. I read it a while ago. Hindi siya nagpa-flash.
Ayan, how about that?
Iba yung top voted. Sige, we can ask this one. It's the same. How to rebrand yourself when you feel you're already down because you failed your expectations 5 years ago.
Okay. First truth, nobody's perfect. That's the first truth, universal truth. Second universal truth is you will only fail if you did not learn from that experience. If you learn from that experience and then make whatever changes you need to do, then that what we call failure is actually working for you. Okay, so it's working for you. I used to have a different perspective of failure, but over the years, I realized that all of those things that happened to me that I thought was failure was actually preparing me for something else. Everything is preparing you for something else. And so whoever asked this question, I am letting you know that your mess, let's call your failure your mess. Your mess can be your message. Your mess can be your new message for your branding. Dahil meron ka experience na yon, you can actually use that to say, I know this by heart. I know what you need because I experienced it myself. That's how you can turn it around. And I did that myself.
I think that's a wonderful answer. So I think you're highlighting na you're never too young or too old, or you can never be at the or you could be at the best parts or the worst parts of your life. You can rebrand anytime. And
Yes.
these are moments that can really teach you.
Yeah. Remember how you show up?
Mm.
There will be times in your life you're down. There will be times of your life you're always up. But importante, you be consistent with what your brand is. Know what your brand is. Know who you are and express that. Communicate that.
Mhm. Ayan. Thanks for answering that question, Sam. Maybe I want to give you a chance maybe to choose one of these questions that you wanted to answer. How about that?
Me, I want to answer the OFW because there's lots of, I know part of your target market
Mhm.
for Positive Places is also OFWs, right? So speaking for the community, how do you think we can have a paradigm shift sa mga katulad ko to embrace having personal branding for improvement of ourselves? Ayun, paradigm shift. When ang basa ko dyan sa paradigm shift is two ways. Either we feel that we are not worth it, or dahil nakaipon na tayo ng sobrang dami, so we want to change the path of our lives. Yan, paano natin gagawin yon? It can be either or, no? So not knowing again the context, I will presume either or. So yung sagot ko dun sa una will be the same as I mentioned earlier. We bring all our experiences into our brand. We bring whatever we have learned, all our strengths into our brand. Gamitin nyo yun. Meron ako nakita, no? We're live stream, no, in YouTube. Meron ako nakitang channel na meron siyang pinakasalan na Turkish. Tapos hindi na naging successful yung kanyang Turkish relationship. Okay, babae to. Tapos, ang ginawa niya, gumawa siya ng YouTube channel na tinuturuan na ngayon lahat ng mga OFW na kung gusto niyo magpakasal sa isang Turkish husband, ito yung watch out for this. Ganun, no? So, instead of na-lock siya doon sa pagiging OFW niya, gumawa siya, she evolved herself. Pero ginamit niya yung past experiences niya to bring that shift for herself. Yung paradigm shift niya na I don't necessarily need to brand myself as OFW. I can be more than an OFW. OFW is just one of your roles. It's just one of the expressions of your brand. Naalala niyo articulation ko kanina, I am a mother, I am a wife, I am a sister, I am a pastor, counselor. Being an OFW, isa lang yan sa marami niyong pwedeng gawin. So babalikan niyo lang lagi, ano yung brand ko? So isa lang yan, being an OFW is just an expression. So that same answer also applies dun sa magpapalit na ako ng shift ng path sa buhay. From OFW, businesswoman ako. Great! Congratulations, for example, di ba? So, ibabalik ko rin lang dun. Bring in all your learnings, and then hanapin niyo yung target market niyo. Then you start communicating ano ngayon yung unique na meron ka based on your past and experience. And then, ano yung target market ng business mo, for example. Diba? I-link nyo ngayon yun. I hope that made sense. No? Sige.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Pam. Nagustuhan ko yung sagot na yan. I believe it's time for one last question na lang po.
O, kayo nang pumili.
Kami na?
Oo, kayo nang pumili.
Sige, let us see.
Well, actually, one of the things I wanted to ask you, I think what I like is a lot of the questions here were addressed from the answers that you gave. Siguro this one, I feel like this one will be interesting, especially for probably a lot of the people that found you so influential during this talk. And Miss Pam, how did you find your purpose?
Alam nyo, proseso yan. Ongoing process yan. For those who attended the first session, you would know the answer the question to this. But for those who were not able, quick, very, very quick. Kasi I also teach purpose how to find your purpose. Try to ask yourself, sino ka at your very best? So ask yourself, yung mga success stories ko, ano yung mga ginagawa ko noon? Ano yung mga ano yung gusto kong, what makes me so happy during those moments? That's the first question you ask yourself. Mga success stories mo. And then ask yourself, sino yung mga taong I admire the most? na gusto kong maging. Because usually, the traits of the people that you admire the most will give you signal of who you want to be also, or who you are potentially are already at your very best. Because your purpose statement is who you are at your very best. So I answered those questions. And because I am a fan of Simon Sinek, ang tip niya dyan is, talk to your very, very best friend. 3 people, 3 friends. And then ask them this question, and ask them to answer quickly. Why are we friends? And keep on asking, why? Hanggang sa makuha nyo yung pinaka-root nung sagot nila. Minsan, darating din sa conversation, ang ginawa ko to darating sa conversation na, ewan ko, I just trust you. Okay, I'm trustworthy. Ewan ko, kasi pagkausap kita, ito yung nafe-feel ko. Okay. Okay, it will signal kasi, therefore, who am I at my very best, and who am I at my very best will help me now determine what my purpose is. It's easier if you go to the workshop, but I hope those few questions or few tips will help you find your purpose, and that's what I did for myself, and continue to do so.
Yes. Thank you so much for answering that, Ms. Sam. I'm so glad we chose that question. I feel like you've inspired 450 people to start asking 3 of their friends. You've encouraged a lot of conversations that I know will be helpful. So thank you so much for answering that question. And alam mo, thank you
You're
also
welcome.
to everyone who asked these questions. That was such an enjoyable Q&A for us. We'd love to answer them all, but unfortunately, we do have we only have very few remaining time left. So ayan, so to close off the session, let me just share my screen once again. So ayan, thank you again so much, Miss Pam, for the learning and just the amazing session that you were able to display for us and also all of our learners here this afternoon. It was really unforgettable. We prepared something for you,
Okay.
as thanks for the afternoon. What we prepared is very simply a certificate of appreciation
Thank
that is
you.
issued to you, Miss Pam Valenzuela, for generously providing your time and your expertise as a resource speaker for our webinar, Building Our Personal Brand and Unlocking Our Potential, signed by the Chief Enabling Officer and Chief Wellbeing Officer of Positive Workplaces, John and Nikki. Thank you so much, Ms. Pam, for giving us
Thank
your time this afternoon. Thank
Thank you
you.
also. I enjoyed, and God bless, and all positive vibes to your
Yeah.
positive workplaces, everyone.
Ayan, go ahead, Bella.
Thank you so much. All right. Maraming salamat po, Miss Pam. If gusto ninyong panoorin ulit yung webinar na to, we actually have all the recordings of our Wednesday free webinars on our YouTube channel. So I'll just post it on the chat. There you go. So just go over to Positive Workplaces YouTube channel or click the link on the chat na nilagay ko baba lang. For next week's webinar, we will have Miss Jolina Khan, a partner and senior consultant of management strategies. So she will talk about mastering our energy, making time for what's meaningful. Also, Management Strategies has a promo for everyone who regularly attends our Wednesday free webinars. So they're giving away a free workshop to 30 people, but you need to attend all 3 webinars of management strategies for this month. So the topic of their free workshop is Going Back to Purpose, Rediscovering Our Why. So now at this point, it's time for us to wrap things up for today's webinar. Pero before we end, if you enjoyed our free webinars, we can also do a learning session for your company, for your school, for your organization. So you can just reach out to us at thrive@positiveworkplaces.org. Makausap niyo yung co-host ko, si Alma. Siya yung aming Wellbeing Services Officer.
Yes, ayan. And of course, this learning session would not be here today. Actually, this entire month is really sponsored by these 3 wonderful people, Management Strategies. We have Miggy, Miss Pam, Miss Jolina, and they're all such amazing, influential people. And again, they're part of Management Strategies and they are consultants themselves. I wanna just shout them out, and then I want to encourage everyone to reach out to them. Maybe you're also part of companies or you have teams that you feel like you can ask for their help. I really want to offer them here, and I'm sure they'd love to entertain you as well. So ayan, just to go back to to Positive Workplaces also. So of course, we'd love for you guys to follow us on Facebook. We have a lot of fun and informative thought leadership posts on the workplace and well-being and other things. So you might find this very, very interesting. And of course, Miss Pam, if you have any socials or socials management strategies, feel free to type it down in the chat. I want to use this opportunity to give support to your to your endeavors as well.
Well, management strategies is can easily be found in. Let me just flash the screen na lang. Okay, while we still have people here. There you go. You can get in touch with us if you want to know how we can help transform your organization. We can be found in Facebook, in Instagram, and LinkedIn. You can also call the numbers you see on screen. We'll be more than glad to support you, transform your organizations, and prepare you for the future.
Yeah, everyone, take your screenshots. Everyone that's interested. Thank you so much. And yan, si Bella will now close us off for the session. So, ayan, take your screenshots because I'm going to start to share my screen again. Ayan, and Bella will close us off.
Yes. Okay, ito na yung pinakahihintay ng lahat regarding everyone's certificates of participation. Here is the link. I'll post sa chat. There you go. And there's also a QR code flashed on the screen for today's webinar evaluation form. So you need to fill out and submit an evaluation form para mabigyan po kayo ng e-certificate. Remember to please double check your emails and double check yung spelling ng names ninyo kasi hindi na po namin mapapalitan yung spelling ng names ninyo when we send out the e-certificate.
So, ayan. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending the afternoon session. Big thank you to Miss Pam again for sharing her time with us and her learning. We really learned a lot from it, and we hope that we can see more of Miss Pam in the next coming months because she's really a really influential woman. Thank you so much, Miss Pam, and thank you, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this afternoon. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.